Hey guys, Joe Withrow here. I'm broadcasting from my solar shed way up in the mountains of Virginia, fully off the grid in the office here, running completely on solar, no grid tie whatsoever. So I'm coming to you today with a new series that we're going to call the Phoenician League Notes from the Frontier. We're going to start doing these entries, these videos every week. And so I wanted to share with you, we're going to get into some really interesting nuances with finance, economics, investing, all of it with a little touch of what life's like out on the Virginia frontier. So I attended my daughter's dance recital at the old Masonic Theatre in Clifton Forge here recently. And I'm going to show you a picture of this thing. It's just this historic Appalachian opera house that opened its doors in 1906. So it's hosted everything from presidential speeches to old Western performances back in the day. But what strikes me most are the elevated opera boxes. And they're on the second level, and I think one of them's on the third level of this building, just overlooking the stage. And so at my daughter's recital, we saw these things, but nobody seems to sit in them. So my son and I went up there to check them out. So here's a picture I snapped of our view from the opera box. It was just before the curtains opened. So these things strike me as a relic from the Victorian era. And I find something oddly nostalgic about that. I don't know what, but it's very interesting. This very historic building that's hosted all kinds of history. And now I'm sitting up in this box, and the audience down there were kind of looking at us like we're crazy. Who are these people sitting up in the top row? But it was really cool to see my daughter's performance from that view. Okay, so more notes from the frontier to come, but let's get into the world of finance and economics today. All right, so there's a lot of moves afoot in the macroeconomic situation right now. I mean, we're at the forefront of a global economic reordering of generational proportions. It's going to be fascinating to watch this play out. And you can go and look up all kinds of things about whether it's tariffs and trade wars or Triffin's dilemma, whatever it is. And we'll have some commentary on those in some videos ahead. But what I want to start with, and I want to really emphasize, when we're looking out at all this economic uncertainty, we need to ask ourselves a key question. And that is, what does it all mean for us? And how should we position our finances given all the uncertainty that's out there? And I want to suggest to you that the answer is that we need to focus on the fundamentals, okay? Since we don't know exactly what kind of future this global economic reordering will bring, well, we need to be prepared for any future. And this was a key insight that inspired Harry Browne to develop a concept that he called the permanent portfolio back in the 1980s. Now, Harry Browne was probably best known for his presidential campaigns in 1996 and the year 2000. So running on the Libertarian Party ticket, he went out on the campaign trail and he advocated the virtues of individual liberty and free markets with both what I believe are very, very astounding clarity and charisma. However, what I don't think people realize today, Browne was also very prominent in the world of business and finance for decades prior to those presidential runs. He was known to jot down the ideas that would come to him as he'd go about his days. And he always had this notebook, apparently. He'd jot down ideas that hit him. And then at night, he would sit down and develop those ideas. And he would often do so by writing. And that's how he became a prolific writer and a best-selling author. He's written, gosh, I think like 14 books, something like that. But it was during one of those late nights spent thinking and writing that inspiration struck him. And Harry Browne realized that there might be a way to protect personal wealth from economic chaos, not by predicting the future, but by preparing for any future. So that research sowed the seeds of Harry Browne's permanent portfolio. He envisioned a portfolio so balanced that it could perform well during periods of inflation, deflation, prosperity, and recession. So it was an idea that was brilliant in its simplicity. And Browne went on to help construct a mutual fund based on the concept. So the Permanent Portfolio Mutual Fund, its ticker PRPFX, it launched in 1982, I believe it was. And it was designed to maintain an equal weighting of 25% stocks, 25% bonds, 25% gold, and 25% cash. Pretty simple, right? Very simple, but it worked. That fund went on to produce average returns of about 7% a year for decades, which demonstrated the validity of Harry Browne's vision. Okay, so at the Phoenician League, we employ some of the same principles that Harry Browne laid out in his permanent portfolio concept with some modern additions. We're able today to employ a wider range of assets, really thanks to technological advances. But the idea is the same. We seek to build an investment portfolio that will thrive regardless of what happens in the economy and with the monetary system. And the key here is a concept called asset allocation. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow.